Hey, what's up, Canes fans? Your boy Nitty. Hey, man, let's get into this game. Once again, another slow start. Another slow start. You know, I don't even know what to say about it. You would think that there'd be a sense of urgency. You come out, first quarter, first drive. All your scripted plays. You think you have, some type of, rhythm to that. No. Once again, took about 4 minutes left in the second quarter for Miami to get on the board, and then we turned it around with the pick six. But it's much of the same in that first half. Now, second half, tell the two teams, they was able to put some drives together, and they open up the lead, which is what we expected. But can you imagine if this team was able to put it together for 4 quarters? Can you imagine that? I mean, a full game. Miami hasn't played a full. Minus Bethune, maybe South Florida. I don't think this team has put together a full 4 quarters of football. And if they did, they'd probably be undefeated right now. But with that said, Miami still got to win out. We know that they gotta blow everybody out, or at least do it with style. I really would have wished that the I know Mario playing some younger guys and then late in the fourth quarter, but man, I really didn't want to give up that touchdown to Syracuse. But playing backups, so that score was looking at 38-3, and then of course they scored 38-10. Still, 4 touchdown, win. That should be good enough for the committee. I was hoping for 50 points on Syracuse. If we had played the first half, we probably would have had 50 points. But it is what it is. This team comes out slow. Still running the ball. We tried to get it, a little bit more to the perimeter, today. But we will take the win. That's what they have to do. They got to win out. They got 3 more games to go, and they need to do it in spectacular fashion. Let's talk about this college football playoff, man. I'm a fan of the CFP. I just think they need the rankings need to be tweaked, because this whole explanation of why Miami is so far behind Notre Dame, and I heard some crap about, Miami and Notre Dame wouldn't be compared because they're more than 3 spots difference and all this crap. See, that's the part right there where, we don't want to turn this into what that BCS was. You want to handle it on the field, right? And what happens on the field should matter. If it's a head-to-head and you got common opponents, that's what should matter. It shouldn't matter where you get a group of about 20, 30, however many people on this college football committee in a room, and then they looking at where, whether, this team should get in, and, they don't look right, and, their offense is struggling, and all this crap. Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head. If the 2 teams finish at the end of the season with 2 losses, then the head-to-head should freaking matter. I don't care about, this team is looking like this now. A couple of years ago, Florida State went undefeated and won the ACC and still got left out. Undefeated. Why? Because of a quarterback getting hurt. Jordan Travis got hurt that year, remember? And the committee said that Florida State just wasn't the same team without their quarterback. What the hell you mean? They won the ACC championship. They undefeated. They should have played. And if that meant that Georgia or Alabama or whoever they would have matched up with would have beat the brakes off them, then that's what needs to happen. Let that happen on the field. Don't take that away from the field. So this situation is going to be interesting down the stretch. If Miami can finish this thing out 3-0, or 3-0 the rest of the way, and end 11-2, it's going to be interesting. And I honestly think that Notre Dame is going to get the nod because they love Notre Dame. And of course, Miami is nobody. I mean, when it comes down to Notre Dame, Miami, Notre Dame getting in. That's the bottom line. Unless Notre Dame gets another loss, if Miami and Notre Dame finish even, Miami's left out. That's just the way it is. That's the bias against the Canes. But Miami, you had an opportunity to control your own destination. You had an opportunity to control the narrative, and you blew it. You blew it. 2 opportunities: Louisville and SMU. With the Louisville loss, you still had a chance. You still was up there. You still was, in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. SMU loss was critical to Miami. That's why it hurt so bad. That's why a lot of the fans came at Mario. That's why a lot of the fans are like, we're just in disbelief because we know how critical that loss was. And look what the hell happened today in the ACC. If Miami just had the 1 loss against Louisville, they'd be in the thick of things right now with Virginia losing, Louisville lost, Duke lost, and who else lost? There's another loss. I can't remember. But there's chaos in the ACC today. Chaos. And that's what we was hoping for. That's why you need to just have that 1 loss. When you lost to Louisville, we was like, hey, that's it. You should be able to win everything out. You should be favored in all the games ahead. They screwed that up against SMU. So, I mean, Miami, you're in this situation because of your own actions or mistakes or whatever you want to call it. But coming into the Syracuse game, I was disappointed the way they started this game because with everything else on the line, with everything on the line, you come out flat again. No rhythm. Beck getting the attitude. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But, I mean, the sense of urgency just not there. And to me, that's the coaching. It's like bring your team ready to play, ready to get after somebody's ass. And they didn't have it. They woke up 4 minutes left in the second quarter, right before the half, and then we were able to get that interception. The offense just, in that first half, just seemed a little out of sync. Not a little. They seemed out of sync. Couldn't get anything going. It was pitiful. I think I saw a graphic on the screen. It was like 3 straight drives. It was just punt, right? Had a few plays, got maybe a couple first downs, punt. And you're not going to beat really good teams playing like that. And that's exactly why Miami's in the situation they're in right now. So I'm going to talk about Beck and kind of like what I saw with, the body language and all that crap coming off the field. He's frustrated. Listen, man, you the leader, man. You the leader of the fucking team. You're getting paid $4 million, $3 million, whatever the hell it is. I don't give a damn if you're just getting paid $50,000. You are the leader. Be the leader. Don't go mope on the sideline, come off the field, moping, head, like you got this defeated look on your face. Like, come on, man, we need you to be the leader. You got 3 more games, 4 more games if you count a bowl game, but, I honestly, I'm going to make a prediction here. I think Miami's going to struggle against Pitt. I'm just going to put it out there. I think that's going to be it. That is going to be in the cold weather, on the road. Pitt going to have everything to play for. Miami, that's going to be a tough game for Miami. But I do believe that Miami has a chance to win all these games. But the first half today, the first half against Stanford, the second half against Florida State, or that fourth quarter against Florida State, that second half against Notre Dame, that's always in the back of my mind, and it just makes me, I can't help it. I don't wish bad on this team, but I always think to myself, I don't know what fucking team is going to show up. I don't know what Canes team we're going to get. So, North Carolina State's not going to be a pushover game. I mean, hell, they beat Georgia Tech. I'm not saying Georgia Tech is the best team, but they beat Georgia Tech when they was on a roll. And they stopped that. They stopped that momentum of Georgia Tech. They have they're going to come into the Hard Rock Saturday very confident that they can pull off that upset. Miami got to be ready to play. You can't play one half of football. You need to put a full game together. A full game. and Dawson, you're pissing me off, bro. Not being able to come up with plays to get Tony the ball in that first half. That was pathetic. You got to get Tony the ball. He's the best player we got on offense. You got to get that guy the ball. Yes, I love the way he opened up the playbook in the second half. We need to start the game like that. Can you start the game like that, please? All right, this video is getting long, but hey, man, we'll take the W, man. Miami's up against it, man. With you saw the graphic. I don't know if you was watching. If you went to the game, you didn't see it, but they had a graphic on the screen of the percentage of Miami's chances of getting in the ACC championship, which is way low. Like I think it said like 4%, 3%, something like that. And then the chance of getting in the college football playoff is 8%. So that's with winning out. So the bottom line is it's going to be a long haul, long road, whatever you want to call it, for Miami to get in this thing. I honestly think that they screwed themselves with the SMU loss. Yeah, they will rise up from 18 up, but to get in that top 12, I think it's going to be probably a road too far. That's just my opinion. And then I also think that there's going to be some. I think some of the games are going to be a little closer for Miami. I think the Virginia Tech game is going to be closer than what we think, and I think the Pitt game is going to be closer than what we think. Is that going to be enough for Miami to get in? Is that going to be enough for the committee to say, you know what, let's get these guys in the top 12? I don't know. I think it's a road too far, and I think the SMU loss is the one that you got to put the asterisk next to say, you know what, this is where you fucked up, Mario. This is how you bring your team not ready to play on the road. You know, you got seconds left at the end of regulation and a timeout. You don't fucking kneel, because that's how you fucking lose, and that's how you get your team in the situation that you're in right now. So, you know, this it is what it is. But we'll take the W. On to the next. North Carolina State coming to town next week. It's gonna be a tough game. They're coming for the upset. Miami got to come out ready to play. Open the fucking playbook, Dawson, from the opening freaking quarter. You know, opening quarter, and let's get it. We gotta get this W. Nobody feels sorry for the Miami Hurricanes. Nobody feels sorry for us. They don't want us in that thing. They don't want us in that college football playoff. So, you know, Miami got to do what they got to do. They got to win out. They got to do it with style. And, you know, we'll see if they can do it. I think they can do it. I think it's going to be tough. Like I said, I think those were 2 road games. I think it's going to be tougher than what we think. Miami still has the talent to be able to do it. But then again, we had the talent over Louisville. We had the talent over SMU. All that shit about Mario talking about SMU got just as good enough players. Say that bullshit. Miami is probably the most talented team in the ACC, maybe next to Clemson. Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. Miami is the most talented team in the ACC, in my opinion. If you're looking at the recruiting, and there's no way they should be losing to goddamn Louisville and losing to SMU. No way. So Miami's in this position because they just don't come out and ball out from the opening start. So it is what it is. North Carolina State coming up. We need to get this. We need this, and we got to win out. So we already know what the mission is. So that's all I got, man. You know, I wish them boys can get with just like the way they end the game, start the game that way, so that we're not sitting there shaking our head in the first half, looking at the clock, saying, I can't believe we ain't got no damn points. But that's all I got, man. Go Canes, nitty out.